What's up, guys? Mainly Hockey Cards here, and today I have an amazing show and tell that has been 2 years in the making, and I really hope you guys enjoy it. On January 6th, 2022, I decided that I was going to tackle something big. I needed something to fill the itch and the chase of collecting, so I picked up a single Matt Dumba red PMG, and decided right then and there I would do this Precious Metal Gems PMG set. I get it. Some people love PMGs. Some people hate PMGs. I love them, and I love how shiny they are, as well as how collectible they are. I knew that some people had put PMG sets together before, but that was mostly when PMGs were a subset in hockey. Hockey PMGs first appeared in 2012-13 Fleer Retro, and if you're like me, you're kicking yourself for not buying them back then. Fast forward to 2020-21, and Skybox Metal Universe released, with PMGs not being a subset, but actually a standalone parallel of the base set. Cards 1 through 100 were stars, 101 through 150 were rookies, and 151 through 200 were all-stars. The first 10 copies of each card were the green parallel, and the last 90 were the red parallel. I had one, Matt Dumba. 199 to go. Fast forward to early 2022, and I took a job working in the sports card industry. I started submitting to PSA regularly. And so I thought to myself, why not try and do a PSA-Graded PMG hockey set? That would not only ruin my savings, but also look really cool. After all, the slabs would color match with every single card with the red foil and famed PSA red label. The first card I got back from PSA for this set was the Igor Shesterkin. It happened to be his first PMG, and I got a 9 on it, which was surprising. I felt it was more along the lines of an 8, but if this were a 9, I would certainly take it for a card set that was notorious for poor conditions. Fast forward again to yesterday, January 19th, 2024, just about 2 years after starting the set, and it's done. 200 for 200. All PSA graded with an average grade of a 7.94. Here it is in all of its beauty. So some interesting stats. I won't reveal prices for the purpose of potentially selling the set. On average, the cheapest cards to obtain were the All-Star cards, and the most expensive cards to obtain were the rookie cards. The easiest grading cards were the star cards 1 through 100, which had an average grade of 8.08. I think that is pretty incredible for PMGs. The all-star cards, cards 151 through 200, were pretty close to that as well, on average grading a 7.97. However, the rookies, cards 101 through 150, really hurt the overall average, as they were by far the worst at just a 7.62. The grade distribution is as follows. PSA 6s, just 5. PSA 7s, 35. PSA 7.5s, 1. PSA 8s, 126. PSA 8.5s, 1. PSA 9s, 32, which equates to 16% of the set. Very happy with that number. As expected, there were 0 PSA 10s due to the generally sensitive condition of these cards. From here, I just want to go 10 cards at a time, breaking down the set with some notes. The Ovechkin in this first pick, starting on a low note, is not how I wanted this to go. I had originally purchased one raw, which I felt had a good chance at an 8, but that got stolen or was lost in the mail, and I had to settle for purchasing a PSA 7. I might look to upgrade this. Next, though, is one of my favorite cards in the set, bottom middle, Andrei Svechnikov in a crisp 9. Jack Hughes in the top left is the lone 8.5 in the set, a very nice color match of a great player. In the top right are Matthews and Hughes, both in 8s and both tearing up the league this year. In the bottom middle is Bergeron, and while I don't like the Bruins, I do like Bergeron and like that card a lot. Matt Dumba appears again in the top right, and he's the first card I ever purchased for this set, and I got PSA 9. Fitting to say the least. Igor Shesterkin, second from the left, and as mentioned earlier, is the first card I got graded in the set, and happens to be my number 1 favorite card in the set too. The Yossi in a 9 and Makar in an 8 are both really solid cards on the bottom right. As Ziri would say, frickin' Brad Marchand in the middle of the top, of course, got a 9, but in terms of adding value, that's a big base card to get a 9, so I'm mostly okay with that. Braden Point in a 9 right beside. John Carlson, second from the right on the top row, got a 6. This card in particular has surface issues. I can't explain it, but you just can't find it without surface issues. It's a bit frustrating. 3 big hitters from the bottom left and in are Nikita Kucherov, Sidney Crosby, and David Pastrnak, all in an 8, very solid. A disappointing 7 for McKinnon, second from the left on the top row, and unfortunately, the base McDavid on the bottom row in the same position also got a 7. Moving into rookies, Robertson at 101 in a crisp 8. Velarde, second from the right on the top in an 8. Hagel, first on the left on the bottom in an 8. And last card on the right on the bottom, Byram, also in an 8. Kaprizov in the top right in a nice 8. Norris, second from the left on the bottom, also in an 8. McMichael in the middle of the bottom row in an 8. And 2 cards to the right of him is a Timmy Stützle, also in an 8. I was very happy to get an 8 for that Stützle. Sorokin in the top left in an 8. Keandre Miller in the bottom middle in an 8. Laffy in the bottom right in the 8. And a disappointing Dylan Cousins in a 7 in the top right. Moving to All-Stars at 151, Shea Weber's card has a weird print defect on every copy I've seen, but it does not affect the grade. Letang in the bottom left as a 9 is a cool little card. I feel like you don't see a lot of Letang. McKinnon, second from the left, his second card in the set, also got a 7. A little disappointed this happened in that both McKinnons got 7s. Draisaitl right after in an 8 though, so I can't complain too much, as well as Marner. Quinn Hughes in a 9 in the bottom right. Very nice there. Hellebuck in the bottom right as a 9 highlights those 10. Jacob Markstrom, second from the left on the bottom, is the final card I needed to be graded for the set. Funny story about this one, I bought one and accidentally lost it in my collection. I was sitting at 199 out of 200, went crazy looking for it, expedited another one from ComC, and then expedited it to PSA in a small batch, so the order did come back pretty quickly. I still have not found the one that I lost, though. In the last 10, I was happy that the McDavid, second from the left, did get an 8. Additionally, the third Pastrnak in the set got a 9 at card number 200 in the bottom right corner. So that's the set. 200 out of 200 precious metal gems, all PSA graded, 90 possible sets for this red parallel. So what now? I may try to sell it privately or just keep it. I don't think I'd have the heart to piece it out individually just because of how cool it is, or have the nerve to run it in an auction. I'm hoping that I can enter it into the PSA set registry, pending that they add the set, but for now, I'm happy just looking at its completeness. Are there any sets on the horizon for me? Yes, but I'll keep those a secret for now. If you made it this far, thank you for your support and thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and consider subscribing. It's free and you can always change your mind later. Peace.